How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Mortal Realms Monday. This week we are taking a look at the Spirit Hosts that came with issue 28 of the Mortal Realms magazine. And right now I'm applying a thin sort of wash of Ulthuan Grey and Nylock Oxide at a 2-part oxide to 1-part grey mix, and then thinned down slightly with just a bit of water. And all I'm doing is putting this over all of the ghostly parts of the 3 hosts here, and this is going to act as a base coat for a shade that we will apply in the next step. So I'm going to go ahead and get on with this, and I will catch you guys back in just a bit. And welcome back. So it's a nice easy model that we're painting up this week, and now that I've gone and got that Nylock grey mix on there, I'm now going with some Ushapti bone and just painting the base in for the skeleton here, as well as the small skull at the front of the gravestone that he's got there. But like I said, very minimal painting on this one, nice, quick and easy. So be a nice short video today, guys. But I'll get on with painting this and we'll come back in just a bit. Okay, and finally for the base colours, I'm now taking some Eshin Grey and just applying this over the gravestone here. And you'll notice I had missed the skull out at this point, but I do realise that there is one there, and we'll go back over that with the Ushapti bone just in case any of you guys are following along. I haven't pre-gravelled or pre-based this guy. I wasn't at this point 100% sure on what I wanted to do base wise, but you'll be able to see that in the clip at the end of the video. So yeah, I'll just get on with this, and we'll be back in just a bit. Okay, so next up I'm applying a wash of Agrax Earthshade over the bone areas, so that's the skeleton itself and the skull here, just letting it pull into those recesses and stain up the Ushapti bone a little bit. And you know, nice quick easy job with this. If you haven't seen the assembly video for this, I do have a link up video for that. I'll put a link up in the corner here as well as in the description, so you can go and check that out if you haven't assembled these models yet. It may be a little bit helpful for you. That does show all 3 of the models in the guide, so it is a bit of a long video, but you'll be able to skip through it, get the general idea, depending on which ones you're having trouble with, or you know, just to get an idea in general. Okay, so next up, to get these blades painted in, and I'm just going to use some Balthazar gold for this and just get that you know, a couple of coats on there. And this is going to be that base sort of brass look to them, just very simple over the handles here. This is, like I say, that very quick simple paint job for these guys. Get them down on the table quickly, nothing too complicated, and not using too many colours. I'm pretty sure, with exception to the Eshin Grey, the majority of the colours in here are what we've already received with the magazine. If not, then it shouldn't be too difficult to substitute the colours a little bit if you're just working with the paints from the magazine itself. So I'll get on with this and we'll be back in just a bit. Okay, so I'm now applying a wash of Athonian Camo Shade mixed with Aethermatic Blue. This is 3 parts Aethermatic Blue and 1 part Athonian Camo Shade, and then thinned down with some water, again just to get it to flow into the recesses within each of the spirits, you know, finger areas, and just sort of these, well, the recesses, you know, the little dips and crevices and that. The idea here is just to give it that slightly greener tone within the depths of the piece, while still retaining some of that cooler bluish tint from the nylock oxide. So I'll get on with this, and we'll be back in just a bit. And welcome back. So I'm now using a dry brush here. This is actually a eyeshadow brush, so it's just a cheap makeup brush, and I've gone ahead and dipped it into some Earth 1 grey and just wiping off as much of the excess as I can. And I'm now dry brushing this over pretty much the front of the faces and the hands and things like that, and then also a little bit on the tail end of each of the spirits as well. This is just to pick off those high points, leaving some of that Athonian Camo Shade mix in the recesses, and then a little bit of that Nylock Grey on the model itself, and then, like I say, just picking off the highest points. This is a good brush for this kind of technique. If I've only just switched to it, picked one up the other day, nice and cheap, like I say, a discount store. This was, if you're in the UK, this was in Poundland, just one of their cheap makeup brushes, and the bristles on it are nice and soft, so you can get a really nice light, gentle brush over the top of the plastic without it falling into those recesses, because the experience that I've had, the stiffer the hairs, the more likely they are to sort of ping down into those recesses as they come off and want to flex into their straight shape. Obviously, if you're applying a bit of pressure, then they're bowed a little bit. With softer bristles, they tend not to flick as hard and end up not leaving so much sort of a scratchy look to it. So I'll just get on with this, and we'll be back in just a bit. Okay, so using the same dry brush, I'm now going in with some Dawnstone and just going over the gravestone, being a little bit liberal with this. I just want the Eshin Grey in some of the deeper recesses, and then the Dawnstone is going to be for the majority of the flat areas. So just a nice quick dry brush, sorry, and that will be the gravestone done. Nice and easy. And finally, I'm just taking some Nylock oxide, this is straight from the pot, and I'm just applying this over some of the blade just to give it a little bit of a verdigris, rusted type look to it. So nothing overly complicated with this model. I wanted to keep it as clean and simple as I could, just using minimal techniques just to get it down on the table. So I'll just get on with this, and we'll be back in just a bit. And there we have it, guys. Super quick, super simple video today. Nothing complicated about this model at all, other than the horror of assembling it. If you haven't watched the assembly video that I have for this, check the description or up in the corner and go and check that out. Hopefully that will be a help to you guys. And if you are still watching this part of the video, thank you ever so much for joining me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that it does help some of you, and you'll notice there that I've finished the base. I went with a brown sort of mud type effect, just using some sand and PVA, and then what I did with a round file, I just used the point of the file to scratch away some of the PVA sand mix just as it was before it was dry, just to give it this broken, cracked earth look. And then in that I threw in some Hexwraith Flame and dotted some of that onto the bottom of the skeleton. And then as that seeped towards the edges where the sand grit was, this is after it had been dried and painted obviously, I then threw in some Tesseract Glow into the centre of each of those areas to give it a little bit of a glowy green, ethereal, spooky look. and then again applied a little bit to the skeleton and on the gravestone there. So yeah, that's the base done. Missing his arm because the arm snapped off. You know, these guys are super fragile, so do be careful with your models there, guys. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. You know, hit that like button. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. And until next time, guys, take it easy and keep painting those minis.